Neos does not have an official interface for creating particle effects with. So, I used Neos's built-in developer tools to build my own. This environment is solely purposed to creating whatever special effects you want. While most of these parameters are pretty self-explanatory, such as this collisions checkbox, I'd like to point out some of the less obvious stuff so that you can get the most common effects you want without a whole lot of guesswork. To begin, let's go over the blend types that you'll most likely be using. Right now it is set to additive. This means that it will not only cut out any black background from the image or video used, but it will accumulate brightness and colors as particles become more dense. If you ever find that your particles are too bright or too faint, the easiest way to adjust this is by using the opacity sliders on these color panels. The additive blend type does not work well in all situations, however. Watch what happens when I put one of these colored leaf sprites into the frame. In this case, it's usually best to not only set the blend type to alpha, but also set the color panels to max opacity and max white. Something else worth mentioning is how these rotational controls work. These let you change the orientation of particles as they spawn. Let me put in an image that will help demonstrate this. Now, observe here that animated rotations are currently turned off. This means that when I set the minimum and maximum rotations, the orientation of the particles as they spawn will vary between these controls. By enabling animated rotations, it sets the particles to spin upon creation. Notice how some of these particles are spinning slowly and others are spinning fast. I can make the speed of all the particles consistent by rotating the handles so that they are in a similar orientation. When enabling force direction to determine which way your particles will travel, I recommend bumping up the speed a little bit. This will let you better control your particles using the grabbable control ball here. The further away this ball is from the red center dot, the faster your particles will go in that direction. Perhaps you may have noticed these images with a bunch of tiles all lumped together. These are basically a sheet of individual frames that animate a particle which can be used to create some very interesting and dynamic effects. I've actually labeled the dimensions of the ones present here, so this explosion graphic that I made is 5 tiles wide and 5 tiles high. Let's use it to blow up this room. In order for a sprite sheet to work properly, you need to tell the interface how many tiles wide and high the image that you are using is. So I'll set the values to 5 and 5 for X and Y accordingly. There we are. Now to make some adjustments to best get the effect of accidentally pressing the self-destruct button. Usually for atmospheric effects, you need a large radius, large particles, and low speed values. Alright, now to wait for my property damage insurance check. Certainly a tear-inducingly tragic accident. The last thing I want to cover involves saving and reusing this setup. This bottom platform here houses the entire particle creation user interface, so just grabbing this and saving it into your inventory is enough to be able to take this anywhere. You might not want this whole thing though. You might only want the particles, which is not a problem. Just grab the platform underneath and save it like you would any other item. This platform also serves as a simple way to move, rotate, and scale the emitter. After pressing the big red button underneath the platform, you will need a developer's tooltip to manipulate this particle system further. Alright, that's it for now. I look forward to seeing some of the cool stuff that you make with this particle editor.